say hello and kissy. Mwah.
Today in the garden, I noticed something simple yet profound. I noticed resilience. My seedlings, just a few days old, they are very small, vulnerable, but yet they are pushing through their own challenges. Maybe a bit too much water, not so much sunshine, and a few nibbles from hungry insects. But they bend and they keep growing. These plants are so tiny, but yet so rooted in resilience. In life, we face our own versions of these challenges. Sometimes it's too much stress or too little encouragement. But just like these seedlings, we find ways to keep going. We adapt, find strength in what we have, and with a little support, we find a way to grow through the struggles. Gardening reminds me that resilience isn't about standing tall. It's about staying rooted, even when conditions aren't perfect. It's about adapting, bending without breaking, and finding strength in small, steady growth. And just like those seedlings, each of us is a little bit more resilient than we realize. Rooted in our values, our dreams, and the people who support us, we grow. Not because it's easy, but because we are strong enough to keep trying. And sometimes that quiet resilience is all we need to make it through. This is what gardening teaches us about strength and resilience. As I looked at each seedling, I saw that resilience doesn't mean avoiding challenges. It means learning to thrive despite them. Plants don't choose where they are rooted, but they make the most of the soil, light, and water they have. In many ways, we are the same. Life hands us circumstances, and it's up to us to adapt to find what we need and to grow where we are planted. Every garden season has its struggles, but it also has its rewards. And for every leaf that droops, there's another that reaches up to the light. And for each of us, resilience is often about recognizing both. Acknowledging the hard moments while we trust that with patience, we'll get stronger. Being rooted in resilience isn't just about surviving. It's about finding purpose and beauty along the way. Be rooted in resilience.
Okay, guys, as you can remember, I I took out the seedlings from the lab, and two main reasons was, the first one was because I was running short of space. So, and the second reason was because of, hold on a second, because of these guys here. I was a little bit worried that they might hamper the sprouting of the seeds in the trays, but then since about 95% of the sprouts have come up, I'm quite confident to bring them back in here. And with regards to the space now, I'm thinking ideally I would use this ground here to just place them down nicely here. And yeah, that's the reason why I actually have these guys back. That's one. Two is, it would actually help me to also monitor them quite closely, because what I'm seeing also is that I'm going to give you an example with the squash, right? It's nicely sprouting out. However, as you can see, the seeds, sorry, the roots are now coming out of the tray. So I would need to pot them or transplant them into bigger pots, and so that the roots don't dry off and ultimately the plants start dying off, right? So a lot of these guys I'm going to actually transplant so that I give them more room to grow. And we are going to be using this, it's a seedling mix still. It's a seedling mix. The only difference is that it has what you call this, it has fertilizer in it. So I'm going to be helping my plants get some food. And the other thing is, let's see, carrot. Oh yes, if you can see this carrot plant, it's nicely growing. However, the container is now really becoming small. So ideally I would use a pot, maybe this big, to transplant it into it, so that I actually give it more room to grow, right? So basically that's what I'll be doing. I'll be just taking stock of all the plants. Those that need bigger pots, I would be planting them in bigger pots. Those that still need to sprout, I'll just keep them on the side for about 2-3 more days to see what happens. If nothing comes of those sprouts, then I would have to reseed the same seeds again. And yeah, because the other thing that I've seen, oh yes, so perfect, I hope you can actually see this. The other thing that I've seen was, because of the rain that we've been having for the past, I think, 4 days. It was not heavy rain, but then it was just on a constant, and I mean, seedlings really don't, even though they like water, but then they don't like to always be in water. They want to be in water. Then you sort of like just allow for the soil to dry out a little bit, so that it encourages the growth and so forth. So I don't know if you can see on this socket, it's a little bit green. Hoping you can see. It's a little bit green. Yes, that's the one. It's a little bit green around to show that there has been water lock in here. So because of that, I just decided, okay, I need to just get these guys back in here and monitor them closely. And for those that have sprouted like nobody's business, we just give them more room to grow. Let me just show you a few more. Look at this cabbage. Look at how beautiful these cabbage have actually grown. Amazing stuff. That's cabbage for you right there. So definitely a lot of these seeds have really given off very nicely. And the other thing that I'm seeing is even the lettuce is doing wonders. The lettuce is doing wonders. Look at that. So we are nicely growing, and we just need even more space or bigger pots to just encourage the growth whilst I'm still mending to the patches. All right, say hello and kissy. Mwah. quantity. After careful consideration, I've decided to let most of these guys just be for maybe another 2-3 days, because first of all I just figured out that, you know what, I've just moved them from a familiar environment to this environment, so I would like for them to acclimatize first. But then those with protruding roots at the bottom, I've managed to actually just let the roots sit in water and see what happens. It's only the carrots that I managed to transplant into bigger pots, because in all fairness, I mean, when you look at all of these babies and none of them is complaining, they seem to just be getting on very nicely. It's just that maybe I'm too hasty and I just want this thing done. But I just realized that I need to exercise a little bit of patience. Guys, I am so proud of myself when it comes to the garlic. The last time I tried to plant garlic, it didn't fly at all. And yeah, so these guys, I'm just going to let them sit here for about 2, 3, 4 more days and see what happens. But then for sure, if there is anything that I see that needs to be addressed immediately, I'll definitely get to it. So I'm just gonna let them marinate in this space, and we call it a day. Day 19, done.